welcome to the If I Speak podcast. If you haven't already, check our Instagram. We're pretty active there. We'll keep you up to date with all the uploads. We'll get straight into the review. Shivam, Leeds, they recently beat City. You're on good form, I'd say, considering like you've had a few upsets and things like that. So like, what are you expecting from this game, I'd say?
I don't know. Yeah, as you said, we beat City. I don't want to keep going on about it, but it's a good win for us. Good 3 points against top of the table side. Yeah, now we're playing Liverpool, so I don't know. The next couple of games look a bit hard on paper. I don't know, man. Liverpool, tricky side. I have huge admiration for Liverpool. Like I've always rated Liverpool. They're probably, if I wasn't a Leeds fan, I'd probably be a Liverpool fan. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I got a sort of soft spot for Liverpool. I mean, what to say about this fixture? I mean, this is kind of a big fixture. Always has been, dating back, ages, with the Viduka days. Obviously we played you first game of the season, which you won 4-3. Salah's 2 penalties. I had to spot like that. Yeah, it was a good game. It was fun to see how, I think from a Leeds aspect, how a newly promoted side would do against, obviously you won the Premier League last season, to see how we would face against you. And honestly, like I said about the City game, I thought we were going to get battered, but I think I just kept high hopes. I was just like, oh no, because I knew that the going into the season, everyone will just be like we've just smashed the championship, like we won it by 10 points. So we're going to go into the league, just give it our all, especially like Bielsa. What we saw from him in the championship with what he did with the players, I knew that he would, make the lads just give it their all, and they did against obviously Klopp's Liverpool. And it was a really tight game. Both teams were just excellent. I think that was, to watch, that was one of the most, still even now, getting towards the end of the season, for me as a fan, and obviously just watching football in general, that was one of the most enjoyable matches that I saw in the whole season. Both teams just gave it their all, and I think in a funny sort of way, I think we'll do the same, obviously, on Monday. Both teams will, but I think it'll be quite a low scoring game. I can't see it like last time. What was it? 7 goals. It was a 7-goal
Your
thriller.
pitch doesn't help either.
Yeah, it doesn't, and obviously with the latest injuries, so we've heard from Bielsa. Well, we saw last game as well against City that Rafinha took a knock, and apparently it's not looking good, so he could be out for this game. And obviously, as you said, he's a crucial player for us this season. And obviously, I think you guys are one of the clubs that do want to, or have been rumoured to be linked with him. So I don't know. Obviously, he's a massive player, and you do need him for this big fixture. And obviously, we could be without him, but it's obviously not been confirmed yet. We'll have to see what happens in the next couple of days leading up to the game, and if he's fit to play. I'm not sure about any other doubts for any other players. Rafinha is the only one I've actually heard of so far. Apart from that, we should be good to go. But I think you've got some injuries, haven't you?
We don't have any injuries, do we? I think it's just we have a fully fit squad now. I think it's more of a rotation thing because we've got the Champions League games and things like that. So we might have to rest Salah because he's played back-to-back games. But people like Thiago, they've played. He hasn't played any of the last 3. He's just come on from the bench. So we have a few fresh players and a few players that need a bit of resting. But I don't think Leeds is the game where you're going to rest the players because it's one of the most high intensity games. So do you think the way we play like the high intensity thing suits you? Because I know when we come up against these low block teams, it's quite difficult to break them down for us. It doesn't suit us. But when someone attacks us, we kind of score more goals. It's a bit easier for us to play. Is it the same for you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was, and I think that showed in obviously that first game that we had. Both teams were on the scoring front. I think Leeds is a side that if they do concede massively, as we even saw with Man United, despite the fact that obviously we got hammered, let's just put it out there. We still came back with the 2 goals, and they sort of won the match within the first 25 minutes. Let's be honest, but Dallas, what season he's been having, these big sides. I think that's why I kept my FPL, because he just gets points against the big side, and we've seen that this season. And yeah, he scored last time out against Man United. A great goal, even though we were getting hammered. And I think if it does end up that way, and obviously you guys have just like you said, you've just been kicked out of the Champions League. Again, players are probably tired. But then again, I think, as I was saying to the guys in the preview, just the last video we put out, your squad is now obviously you're just looking straight at the Premier League. That's all you have to fight for now. So I think players like Jota and that, they'll be raring to go. And he's someone that I think is a big player. Like he could score. So yeah, I mean, if you do score goals, I think that'll push us up the arse a bit and get us going. But I don't know. I still see it as a low scoring game. I think it's like a 1-1. Just based on the fact that obviously you've got players that have just played in the Champions League, obviously tired. I think our players are sort of tired from last week playing against City.
Rafinha's injured as well, so he's your biggest threat, I think.
Yeah, especially to the big sides. So it's all these factors that I think sort of give me the idea that it's going to be quite a low scoring game. I take a draw personally.
Yeah.
Just based on that. But yeah, no. Anything else you want to say about the game?
You've got Cooper out and Rafinha. Who do you think comes in for them?
Yeah, talking about this. See, the options are not great, especially against Liverpool. I mean, if you're playing, another team, who are obviously not as good as Liverpool, then fine. But playing against Liverpool, that is worrying. So in that position, we have Costa. So I think Costa's probably the more likely option. I do think Pervada is still out, and I don't see him playing in a fixture like this. I think it's too big to play him. Defensively, I think if Cooper is out, then we'll have to play Koch, who is back now from injury. He's been injured majority of the season, and he's been playing with the under-23s. He's been getting some minutes. I think he did come on in the City game in the last, I think it was like 10 minutes or so. He came on. Blocked quite a few shots actually in the time that in the short time he was on. And obviously he's a big signing for us because we signed him in the summer from Freiburg. We're in the Bundesliga, and he's obviously a big player in the German team as well. And so we haven't really seen enough of him, especially against like the top sides. Because I think when he did get injured was in the first Chelsea game, which was way towards the start of the season. I think he did play against Liverpool at the beginning of the season, and he did all right from what I remember. So it'd be good to see if he can play again. Other options in that position, we've obviously got Pascal Struijk. We've got a number of youth defenders now. Speaking about the youth team, actually, our under-23s just won the second division of the PL2. So that's really good for them. They won it last night after beating Villa 2-1. It could be that let's bring some youth now in.
When was the last time they were in Division 1? Do you remember?
I think I have no idea actually, to be honest. I only started watching them this season since we've gone up. But it is pretty big. I think our under-23s manager is great. He's done a great job with them. Even like players who've been injured, like Adam Forshaw, for example. He's been getting some game time with the under-23s. So it's good to sort of see that they had that sort of older player who's sort of like helping them along the game. But I mean, just quickly talking about under-23s. We signed Sam Greenwood from Arsenal this summer, and we signed Geldhart from Wigan, and these were like obviously they were. They must have been doing really well at their previous teams for their obviously younger squad to then get the call up to play for Leeds. I think the recruitment side of Leeds did really well getting them because they've just been massive players for the under-23s this season. Like Sam Greenwood, the guy who signed from Arsenal, he's just been smashing in the free kicks. Really good to see. So I would, like I've said before, like I've been hammering on. I think our team's gonna sort of get burnt out, and there's only a few games left. So I'd like to see, some inclusion of them under 23s.
Some younger players, just to freshen it up.
Yeah, especially against like sides like Liverpool, or bigger, or like the big sides we have. We got Liverpool, Man United, Tottenham next. If we can bring them in, they've had a really good season with the under-23s. Let's see how they do with the first team, especially when there's players out. Like obviously not that going off topic. If we're saying Cooper's out, we can obviously play Oliver Casey.
How big of an impact do you think that is? Because I think everyone knows without Rafinha that's a big impact, but like Cooper as a leader at the back compared to the other options, is that a big miss as well?
I think it is. Cooper's obviously a massive, especially when it's your captain. When the captain's out, it takes a massive toll on the team. But even then, like we've had him missed a couple of games recently, and Luke Ayling's done good on the captaining front. But no, Cooper is a great defender. And when the team do concede or lose the ball or something, he's proper having a go at them to go again. I think in a big fixture like this, you do actually need to rely on someone like that. If he is out, then that is definitely a big miss. But no, like I said, I think bringing in the younger players could be quite interesting to see how they get on. I wouldn't mind that if Bielsa does do that. But I think it's more the case that we'll probably bring Robin Koch in or bring in Pascal Struijk on that left centre-back position because, both players haven't had really a lot to do this season. And obviously they're both first team or, Struijk sort of he comes on and off now and again. They're sort of big players, crucial players who are part of the squad. So it's good to have that inclusion, especially I think Robin Koch, side against like playing against Liverpool, that'll keep him going. Know where he has to, what he has to do and where he has to be playing this sort of football next season as well. Because we've only just brought him into the club, so we do want to see more of him. What are your views on, obviously last time out you played us and this time you're playing us? Obviously it was a long time ago, beginning of the season. Where you are now, are you confident about the game, or what's your views on this?
Obviously? I don't know. I think Leeds is a bit different to like every other mid-table team, as in at the end, once you play them, I think I was at Pep who said it's one of the most intense, like tiring games that you can play in the season. So having it between like a Champions League fixture is just really difficult because you have to manage the minutes and everything. I think it will be a proper cagey game. Like the way we play, it's we like to push up, just try and win the ball back in midfield, and then you'll be doing the exact same thing. So I think I agree with what you said, as in that it won't be everyone expects Leeds and Liverpool a high scoring game, but it's never the case because I think both teams will be like wary that there's Bamford there or there's Salah there. We have to be careful, so we can't just commit fully. I think one thing I will say though is the team is like pretty similar, like obviously besides the centre backs, to the one that we had when we played last time. So everyone's fit except the centre backs. So I think it's a good thing. We've got squad depth now, and we do have game changers on the bench. So say if we do play Mane, Salah, Firmino, we'll have Jota on the bench. If we play Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and Milner, we'll have Thiago on the bench and things like that. So I think it'll be a lot different to like a game like the game against Aston Villa. It was just a slog because they were just sitting back and then they were getting us on, had one chance and they scored. I don't think it'll be like one of those games. I think it'll be a bit more back and forth, but there won't be as many goals. I think the biggest threat to us is obviously like our back four, and like say if one of Kabak, Phillips or Trent are left exposed, like in a counter attack, then it's an easy goal for you. You just have to, because we've been really lazy midfield. We've just been giving away balls. We've just been not closing down. So if you just play a long ball over, it's pretty simple. You just have to get on the end of it, and then there'll be loads of space for you. Yeah. So I don't know if that's how like Bielsa plays. Or does he like set up for his team, or set up like for the way the opposition plays, or is it a bit of both? Do you think?
I think it's more. Well, it's a bit of both, because obviously the way he plays is, and how we've seen it is, he likes to stick to the way he likes to play. So the way the team's been playing since Bielsa's come has been totally different to how we've been playing before, and obviously that has affected us defensively. And on the counter attack, especially against like sides like Liverpool, it's not the best. And we saw that first game of the season when you just got us on the counter and took the win. It was like we gave away stupid penalties for no reason. I think there were 2 penalties from Salah, and it was just a silly mistake from like players like Ayling and inside the box that they could have easily been preventable. But no, it favored. I think he tends to, like we saw, even last season when we were in the Championship and with the whole Frank Lampard incident when he had to obviously come out and say how he looked at teams and how he reviewed it, and he's got like the spreadsheets and he's got his proper way of how he targets playing against different teams. Like recently, for example, we've seen against like the mid I like to say like obviously mid-table sides, he's been swapping the wingers after like half time, and we never saw that before. And it's like, oh, actually, what are you doing? But it seems to be working, because when Rafinha's getting found out, obviously, or the defenders targeting Rafinha because they know that
switch to the other side,
swinging crosses in, we'll switch the side and see what happens here. So a lot of things like that. Bielsa is a very hidden character. I mean, he doesn't like to give too much away. I think that's a good thing. But he's someone who he sticks to the same tactic and sticks to the same way that playing style. But if he sees that there's a way that we could easily get in front, then he'll change the tactic based on the team. So I think he has a different way of playing. Not a massive adjustment, but a slight adjustment, playing different teams. So he'll play against Newcastle and West Brom differently from how he'll play against City, Liverpool, and Man United. Like there'll be a different approach that he'll know how to overcome it or change the way.
I think it's similar in the way that Klopp has the same ideas, as in he has his style of play and he'll stick to it. But sometimes that'll be his like big strength, because we know what we need to do. Any player that comes in, they'll get taught basically what they have to do. But sometimes it works the other way around, as in sometimes Klopp's a bit too stubborn and he'll pick his favorite players and he won't try anything different. Is that the same, do you think, for Bielsa? Or does he try different things?
I think Bielsa tries different things. Well, for me personally, like when I watch the game, is sometimes I'll question why he's brought such a player on. So like he was playing Tyler Roberts and Helder Costa, we're talking like the last 7-8 games he's been playing Tyler Roberts. And I've been like questioning him, and even to you guys on the group chat.
The first game, he was pretty poor.
I've been saying like, oh, why are we playing Tyler Roberts and flipping Helder Costa at times? Like, it's not what I want. Like, why are we not playing Rafinha? Why are we not playing Click? Or why are we not playing there's so many options. Why are we not playing Shackleton? Or why are we not playing Dallas at centre mid? And he does like to change that. So I was questioning Tyler Roberts, like, why is he playing Tyler Roberts? But like the last few games when he has played, he has done really well. And crosses and even taking shots on target, like he has done well. And Helder Costa, we haven't seen enough of like this season as much, but he did play him a couple of games, and I was like, questionable, but he seemed to have done quite well. And even like with Dallas, like I was telling Darmish and Konal earlier, that Dallas is obviously a defender, a right back, a left back, but we've seen when he played last year in the Championship and for like his national team, he has played at a centre mid role before. And he can do it. So Bielsa sort of just said, okay, you take the centre mid role, mate, and he's actually done all right there, because he scored 2 against City. Even defensively, he's been excellent for us. So I think Bielsa does like to chop and change what he does now and again, and most of the time it does seem to work. But on paper, it just looks like a really weird combination. But no, it does work. And so for that, I think I have to commend him for that. The way he does it is, from an on paper sort of view, you look and you'd question him, but no, it's most of the time, 90% of the time, it does actually work. So
I think for us, I'll move on to the upcoming fixtures. For us, it's quite a big run of games, because now we're out the Champions League, and we actually, if we don't get top 4, we don't get the top players we want, and we can't invest, and that's a big problem, because there's a lot of refreshing in this team that needs to happen. So for us, it's a big fixture. I mean, all of the fixtures are important, but how big is it for you? And do you think the importance, like for us, like it's really important for us, but for you, there's not too much to play for except for maybe like a push for Europe?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a big game for you as well?
It's like Dharmesh was saying, even in the preview. I mean, yeah, where we are is perfect because I mean, I think a lot of doubters, a lot of opposition fans, a lot of rivals, even some of our own fans, probably most of our own fans, were questioning, oh wow, we've actually done quite well, seeing where we are now, like we're sitting 10th, so you wouldn't expect it from a side that's just come from the lower division. I'd expect bottom half of the table, say 15,
just about
14,
scrape it,
just about scrape it, just above the relegation zone. I'll take it. But no, we've done really well. Pushed the players. Even when there have been players out, we've got the most out of some of our other players. So no, we're in a really good position. So I'm happy with where we are. Like if we end the season here, perfect. You know what I mean? But no, when Dharmesh did say about the European places, and it occurred to me that the point gap is not huge. Like we could make the Europeans, especially after Everton and the Spurs result yesterday. Like it just if we beat you guys and we're in a European position, obviously the games after that I don't know because we could get battered in the next Manchester United, Tottenham, Burnley, and whoever else. Like
I think after the Tottenham game though, you got 3 good games after. I think Southampton, West Ham, the easy fixtures. So
so it all depends obviously on this game, on the Liverpool game. I think because that will sort of just push what we're looking at. Are we looking for them that European place? But like I said to them, I think personally from my perspective, I think this season European football is too big and too early. I'd rather just stay. Like I'm happy if we obviously get a European place that anyone would. The higher up the better. But if we didn't get it, then that's fine as well because we could then push again for that next season. And we'd probably be better adapted to the league and to the players we're playing against and the teams, and so that would probably be better for us. But if we do get Europeans, no, that is big.
But also, do you think it would impact you though? Say next season, if you don't have like a proper strong squad, squad depth as well. Do you think having Europe and then competing in the league, like you might finish lower than this season?
I think so. Yeah, I think if we did get Europe this season, priorities wise, it'll be that's why I think it's too early because 1, obviously there's injuries always. 2, there's the fact that even the players we brought in, we haven't really seen enough of them yet to start. To then chuck them into European football and let's have a go. But that's why I'd rather just obviously in Bielsa's. Well, we've heard that Bielsa's looking to sign a 2-year extension of his contract. So if he does, perfect. That's he's been what he's done so far is great. So as long as we know he's staying and the players obviously staying because they've just signed. So and if we can keep our same squad and bring in new players as well and see how we get on, then I'd prefer it if we pushed and tried to get European because we've proved ourselves this season. We proved that we can do it. Player morale wise, that'll push us to then fight for European next season. I mean, look at West Ham this season. They're in a Champions League position. They're flying high. So it just proves that anyone can do it in the league. Like the Premier League is such a weird league. And anyone can
and everyone's dropping points now. Like even West Ham today, they lost points. So it's a big game for us and for anyone fighting for Europe. So Everton, Tottenham, Chelsea, they're all in the scrap. But the thing is, I'm seeing it now, and it just looks like everyone's losing. It's whoever loses the least amount of games now, because everyone just seems to be losing. It's about being consistent. So whoever has the best fixtures, I guess, consistent.
I just think it's too early for us, especially our players. Like this is like for 90% of the squad, this is their first time they're playing in the top flight, of English football. And even the new guys we brought in there, they're obviously they've never played English football before, or they haven't played in the top league, So they've never played in the Premier League. So no, I think it'd be too big, too early to go for European. But obviously, if we do make it, then brilliant, and we'll just have to adapt to it. And I'm sure Bielsa will, work towards it, and we could do quite well. But I'd rather just, priorities are, look, we looked at Sheffield United this season, and what happened last season and this season. I remember last season when there was no lockdown, we went to the pub to watch the Sheffield United Man United game.
Yeah.
And it was Sheffield United are winning against Man United. I think in the end they drew, but it was
3-3. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we were just in disbelief that they've pulled this one out of the hat, and they finished quite high up. And now looking where they are, they're one of the worst sides in the Premier League.
Heckingbottom.
Yeah, they've got our former manager Heckingbottom, who was I don't think he was very good for us. And I don't think he's very good for them, especially being in the Premier League. But they've sort of, they're under relegation now. Now they're gone. And we don't want to be in the same position next season. So if we get European football, I just think that's too much pressure too early. And this season's a COVID season, and do the training aspect, and there's so much was going on, obviously behind the scenes. And hopefully next season that will, end.
You need a bit of stability before you think about that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So we sort of need to, take a breather and, work out our bearings in the Premier League before, looking at other leagues and things like that. So but no, I think this Liverpool game, it is a big fixture, even like as history dates back. Leeds and Liverpool, they've always been high scoring games. I've seen to like what I recollect from all games. But I just don't see this one being a massive 7-goal thriller. I just see this as a 1-1, 2-1 win. But if you win, I think it'd be 2-1. But otherwise, I think if both sides take a draw, that's fine for us from our aspect, because we just want to.
Because our attack isn't firing either. So.
Yeah. So, and obviously with Mane and Salah, and how you played against. Obviously, you played the likes of Real Madrid, very very different from playing against Leeds. But obviously they're not. Obviously, I've heard people criticizing Mane, and So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think they can get on the score sheet against us?
I think I have a bit of hope with Firmino, because when he rests, he usually plays quite well. But with Mane, I'm just a bit concerned. The problem is we have to play one of the two, so it just depends on which Mane turns up on the day, and it hasn't changed. So he's just the same player, and he's costing us games basically now. So before it's okay because he might miss a few chances and we'll win the game. But now that we're struggling to attack, every chance counts. So if he's missing chances, if he's backing into defenders instead of trying to win a foul, then it's just going to cost us. And I think it's probably Leeds probably the worst type of game for that sort of stuff, because if Mane has a one bad touch, then Ayling's on him, then someone else, Dallas will come back and take the ball off him. So he has to be really, really careful. But I think I don't know. It's just we have to kind of find what's best for us now, because we've got everyone fit. So now it's up to Klopp. I think Klopp should stop picking his favourites, because everyone knows he loves Mane, Salah, Firmino, and then playing them as a front three, and then Wijnaldum, basically defensive players, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and Henderson. Henderson's out, so we can't play him. I want to see something different maybe. So I think for the I will go to the lineups, but I think the usual back four of Robertson, Phillips, Kabak and Trent, but I think I would like to see maybe a different midfield, maybe someone play Keita and Thiago and see how that goes. Play Keita on the left, Thiago on the right. Something a bit more attacking, because I think we've kind of been found out where if you play three defensive players, it's just a bit easy. We're a bit too predictable, because most of our attacking comes from the wings, because I don't think Milner and Wijnaldum can create anything like that. So I think maybe Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Milner. I know you love Milner, but I think he actually had a
bit of bias. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had a really good game actually. I credit to him. It's just we weren't on it that day.
The thing about Milner is obviously if you don't know already, anyone, he's obviously come from the Leeds academy, played for Leeds, now plays at Liverpool, and. I think Leeds fans don't really. I mean, I heard there's rumours that there's a possibility he could come back, and if he does, then would you take him on? I don't think any Leeds fan wants him, just based on the fact that how they've seen him play for Liverpool. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I just don't think how he. I don't think Leeds fans can see how he would fit into the team somehow. Be more of a bench player rather than first team player. But I think he would be good on the basis just based on the fact that I think he's one, it'd be nice to see him back, because it's just obviously if he retires or it's his last season, then he retires at Leeds. That's kind of good in a way, for his career, obviously looking back at it and as a club from our perspective. But I think he'd be good because he has played in high pressure games. He's played in the Champions League. He's got experience, very experienced player. I think he has got good leadership skills as well. I think any player who's got a bit of experience is good. So like now we have Pablo Hernandez, who had a bit of experience. I'm sure he's been pushing the younger lads. He's been playing. He played for Swansea before. He's played in La Liga. Yeah. So he's had a bit of experience, and I think that's really helped. So obviously, if he's departing, it might be nice to get someone in who does have a bit of experience, such as Milner. But yeah, no. Based on, I'll give you my lineup then. I think obviously the goalie is Meslier. He's been brilliant recently. Saving all the shots. I think the going back on the City stats, they were mental. I think it was like 27 shots. Like 9 were on target or something. But even then, he's stopped everything. Defensively, he was really good. Obviously, I think you're saying Cooper's out. So I don't know who. I think I'd take Robin Koch as a replacement for Cooper.
Yeah, is he fit enough though? I came back from an injury, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know, because he's been playing, but he's been playing like very short duration. So I don't know if Bielsa will take the risk of giving him a full game, even if he comes on a bit. It might be good,
Looked a bit shaky against us as well.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's a risk worth taking. He didn't. To be fair to Bielsa, he didn't play him against City, so he probably won't play him against Liverpool either. But then our other options are obviously, left back Alioski, good old Alioski. If not Koch at centre back, it'll probably have to be Pascal Strike. Then obviously we've got Ayling at right back. I don't know. I think midfield, Calvin Phillips, CDM. Probably have, Rafinha's out, so no Rafinha on the wing.
Costa maybe.
Yeah. I think he's probably gonna play Tyler Roberts, maybe. Well, he's playing Dallas. Sorry, so Dallas will play.
Dallas and Roberts in midfield.
Roberts, or maybe Dallas and is Rodrigo injured? I don't know. I can't remember.
Picked up or not? I think he picked up or not.
Yeah, so he's out as well. So, oh man, I just realised he's out as well. Yeah, so probably Roberts and who did I say? Yeah, Click. I think.
Click. Oh yeah, Click. Or Roberts on the left, then maybe Click.
Yeah, and Harrison on the left wing.
Click, Dallas, Phillip. Yeah.
Dallas.
Harrison as well. Yeah.
Dallas. Yeah, it's that. So it'd be probably Harrison on the left. Right, or probably Roberts. Right centre mid will be Dallas, and left centre mid will be probably Click. Yeah. Sorry, Click or Roberts, and on the right mid it'll be Costa. I think that's what he'll do. And then up top you just have Bamford. It doesn't actually sound that good from thinking about it, but what options do you have? Yeah. We've got the younger players. We've got Shackleton who could come on. I think again another player who needs more game time. It's a really weird. I think when you think about Rafinha being out, it's kind of stirred the pot a bit. It's a bit You think actually how big he has been for us this season. Massive player. I really like to see Bamford on the goals again. The reason I said Click at centre mid, why I'd rather have Click over Tyler Roberts, is because I think Click is just a bit better than Roberts. Like, he's slightly better. And obviously last time against Liverpool, he was brilliant. I think he scored. I can't remember. Yeah, he scored a goal against Liverpool, smashed it, bottom left corner. So good to see him play again, because we've obviously seen him already play against Liverpool. Also on the basis that last couple of games he hasn't really had much game time. It's been more our other midfielders. So it'd be good to see him back in action. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a very interesting game, regardless of the score. Because like you said, I think Leeds and Liverpool are very similar teams in how they play, in the style of play. We could be lucky and we could get a really fun game to watch. Could be another 4-3, like another smashing thriller. But I just don't see it happening. I see it being a very low scoring game. like a 1-1, 2-1. I think even if you guys adjust, with the likes of Jota and, Trent's sort of back in form, you've got obviously Salah. You never doubt Salah ever. Obviously you got Thiago. You got massive players so you could turn the game around on its head. So that's why I never ever rule Liverpool out as one of the sides to beat us or smash anyone, to be honest. I think with City, we I think what it was with City is they took a lot of shots, but I don't think any of their shots were on top. Many of their shots were on target.
They were like half chances, right? They were like big proper chances created.
And then defensively, I don't know. We just got them on the counter, especially that second Dallas goal. We just got them quite easily on the counter. They didn't just, obviously we've said all season how good Man City have been defensively, and in that game I just didn't see it. Like they had Ake, for example, and he's a B team, C team type player for City. But it just, he could have. It was easy, like you said, chances that it could have easily been, changed, or like that Dallas goal. He's so close to the ball when Dallas shot at the first goal. He could have easily, stopped that. And he didn't. And the second goal was just Dallas just smashed it through Edison's legs, and their defense was just nowhere to be seen. So no, I do think that how we did get City, we could possibly do the same to Liverpool, but I can't see us winning it. So I'll be happy if we took a draw, but I don't know. I think with Cooper out, with Rafinha out, I can sort of see Liverpool edging it, especially now. Based on the fact that obviously you're out of the Champions League, and your main priority is to gain more points, get the top four. So I think it'll be a really interesting game. See what happens.
Yeah. What I remember you saying, like it might be a 0-0 or 1-1. So like, what's your score prediction? What do you think is going to happen?
I say 1-1 draw.
1-1.
1-1 or 2-1 Liverpool. That's what I see happening.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
I think we have a lot of motivation now that we're out of the Champions League. Like we're going to properly push for this. So I feel like this will be one of those games where we go all out and we just freshen up. We try something different and maybe get like a better result, maybe like a 2-0.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't like ruling out Leeds like that because I know that they have a goal or two in them, especially against the bigger teams. So I'd say 2-0, but I know that could backfire.
Yeah. Especially like defensively, you guys have not discrediting your defenders, but obviously you've got Kabak and Nat Phillips, right? So if they play, then they're sort of, I don't know how to say it nicely. They're sort of the weaker defenders, as opposed to if we had Van Dijk and Gomez, then we're talking. And even then, that first game was with Van Dijk and Gomez. So we've even scored against, we've scored past them. So you could look at it that way and say Leeds could, get past your defense, expose your defense. But
I think 2-0 is the.
I don't know. I've got this weird iffy feeling that I don't see it being as last time. I've got this iffy feeling that it's going to be either 2-1 to Liverpool and you're going to score like within the last 10 minutes and the rest of the game be like a full 1-1, or it'll just be 1-1 the whole way and just.
That's the thing. I think 2-0 is like what I want from an FPL, but realistically, looking at I think the Madrid game was like a proper humbling for me because it was a reality check. It's just Kabak and Philip at the back were properly shown out. So I think 2-1 or maybe like a 1-0, 1-1 is a bit more realistic. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts on the game or?
No, not really. Obviously, we've got ourselves, we've got Manchester United, we've got Tottenham. We've just had Man City. So I think we've got a really tough run of games. So I think hopefully the motivation of the players should be really high right now, especially off the back of the City result. I think the motivation and the words in the dressing room and everything should be sky high. It should be that we want to go into this game looking to win it. Obviously, last time we were so close to winning against ourselves. That wasn't the case. So I think the players will try everything to try and win it. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be a huge scoreline. I don't think we'll win it. But I think I take whatever comes personally. Because the way I saw it was, I thought we get maximum a point out of the next 4 games, and we've already got 3 against City. So it's positive. It's positive, and obviously where we are in the league is I'm happy with, just below Villa. Well, just above them actually. So not too bad. 10th place. We never would have thought of in 10th place. So I'm happy where we are. And in a funny sort of way, if Liverpool do win it, I'd be happy for them as well because, I'd like to see them get that top 4 spot. So yeah, that's all really.
I mean, for us, really, it's just about getting like a good start because we've got a good run in now. We've got pretty much most of the easier teams bar United. Yeah. So if we can get a proper run in from the Leeds game, we have a real shot at top 4, seeing as West Ham drop points.
Yeah.
So I think I covered everything in them for Liverpool. So that's the end of our preview. Just follow us on Instagram and subscribe